Hello, welcome to Just Tom Talk. Today I'm with this beauty, Ford Ranger 3.2 WildTrak. I'm not smaller than usual, it's just that this truck is absolutely massive. It's full of tricks and toys, so without any further delay, let's have a whiz around it and let's show you what this truck's all about. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about who this truck's for, how much it's going to cost you in dough, and what you can expect on a return if you're going to run one of these for work or for pleasure. Right, the 3.2 came out at the same time the 2.2 diesel came out. Now a lot of people went for the 2.2 diesel, made 157 brake horsepower, where this bad boy made 197 as standard. It's got a 6-speed gearbox on it, and it's got more torque than you will ever need on anything. Tow weight of about 3.5 ton, so there is nothing out there, caravan size if that's your thing, that this can't tow. As a workhorse, it's absolutely fantastic. It has got leaf springs on the back, so it is a working truck as opposed to it being car, but it can work very well as a car as well, which you'll see in a bit. So for your money, of which at the time for the WildTrak, £38,000, which is a lot of dough, but if you're going to use it for business purposes, obviously you offset it, and it's a tool enable you to earn more, which has got to be a good thing. Running costs on this, Jonathan, who has kindly lent me this vehicle, says it's running about 23 miles per gallon. Now, as you'll see in a moment, this has got absolutely huge wheels on it. It's got loads of aftermarket bits and bobs on it. It's been remapped as well. So for 23 miles per gallon, I don't think that's bad really for a workhorse. But he also tells me it's also 23 miles per gallon when you're towing a caravan. So if you're at 23 miles per gallon, except that it's always going to be like that, then that's fine. But it is a workhorse and it's to do a job. Okay, so for all the enthusiasts out there, I do apologise, but I'm now going to try and list off some of the things you're going to get on the WildTrak for your money. First of all, you've got sensors that are on the front. This is all part of the WildTrak pack for your hard earned cash. You've got fog lights, we'll come further backwards. You've got the heated screen, which Fords are well known for, an absolute godsend, especially if you're going to use it as a working truck as well. You've got heated side mirrors. It says on the side 6-speed box, so it gives you that extra ratio when you're driving around if you're going any sort of distance. Interior, and I'll show you in a moment, you've got touchscreen stereo, you've got a speed limiter, you've got cruise control, you've got heated seats, you've got electric mirrors, you've got air conditioning, you've got two 12-volt sockets, you've got hill descent, you've got 2-wheel drive, you've got 4-wheel drive low, you've got 4-wheel drive high. Sounds like I know what I'm talking about here, doesn't it? But there's plenty of it as well. And we'll go inside in a bit. Also with the electric mirrors, the electric windows, the front and back. The sound system as standard is, I've been told, okay. You'll see in a moment, this has had a little bit of craziness added to it, so it's got a little bit more bass about it. And you know what? That's it really. This is where the truck is. It's in this bit. Your working bit's at the back, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Right, so now I'm going to quickly talk about this Pegasus top that's been put on the back. These retail for about 2,200 quid. It's a lot of money. But if you're having one of these for your businesses, why wouldn't you invest in it? So you do. I'd like to give a shout out as well to Jonathan, who's been kind enough to lend me this vehicle for the review for JR Joinery. They're over at Codnor. Give them a shout. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, all the rest of the stuff that all you youth do out there, and find them on Google searches as well. It does a cracking job, not just because he's lent me his van, I'm saying that. So anyway, about this Pegasus top, it's got gull arms, and that feels proper solid. It's a real good piece of kit. I don't know if you want to come in a little bit, but you'll see it's so well made. It feels heavy duty, it's strong, and it's got purpose. And it's also, it gives you that flexibility if you are using one of these for work. You can chuck your stuff in the back, safe in the knowledge that is solid. We've also got locks on them as well, which is also good. Just moving to the back of this Pegasus top then, it's got a heated rear glass window, which is handy. From the front, you can see all the way back. Granted, view's limited, but it does serve a purpose. Good piece of kit that, ideal if you're going to be in the business and you want to carry stuff securely. Right, so we can't walk around this vehicle without talking about all these trick bits are on it, of which there are plenty, and I think personally it really sets it off. It certainly turns heads, and you'll see another reason it turns heads in a moment. But this just makes it look nice, feels nice and bulky when you're inside. Aftermarket front grille, as you can see, it really does look nice. Looking about 250 quid for one of them, but it's a really nice piece of kit. Got lights around, looks smart, really sets it off again. And then you've got your wheel arches. Now, you might think, why have we gone with the wheel arches? The reason being is in order to keep it within MOT in the UK, you can't have any overhang, and because these have got 45mm spacers on, it brings the wheels out. If it was to keep it as standard trim, it wouldn't pass an MOT. So spacers on, new wheels and tyres all the way around, £1,000 in reality that you're probably looking at, but you're gonna have to put these wheel arches on to stay legal. Coming further across, we can see here we've got the aftermarket snorkel. That's not to say that this is going to go out wading, but Jonathan, who again has lent me this, enjoys going to do a bit of off-roading, so he's done that. Also above it, you can see there's a light bar. Now, John, being a workaholic that he is, he'll be out at all times working. It just means doing his joinery. He can light up this wherever he is and carry on working, so it's really worthwhile having that. Working further back, and this bit is the bit I was talking about momentarily ago, is that bad boy. Yes, it's not shiny, but my God, it absolutely rumbles. And when you hear it in a moment driving around, oh, it's what being in cars is all about. Talk about bubble and fart, that's what's doing that. And I say and it's not very discreet, so if you're thinking of buying one of these to go in out committing crime, don't fit one of them. You're looking about £1,000 for that, but it all becomes apparent very, very soon. And then towards the back, we've had aftermarket lights put on as well, aftermarket light clusters, which really just set it off. It's fair to say this was a wicked looking van. What we've not spoke about in any sort of detail is the fact that this has been tuned. So it's had a stage 1 on it. As standard, they're about 197 brake horsepower. Stage 1 takes up to about 230, 240. Then John's had it on to stage 2. Stage 1 is 230, 240. Stage 2 is about 265. So it's got plenty of power. And my God, do you notice it along with that exhaust? Because first gear, this is still a work vehicle. First gear is really short, but it's got torque everywhere. I'm pretty sure you can go everywhere in third gear in this truck. But without any further ado, let's show you inside. You can see what it's about. Right, so we're going to talk quickly about the interior. Like I said, outside it's full of all the bells and whistles. Now, me personally, I really like it in here. A lot of the press, when they got hold of it, they said it were bland. Now, I don't know if they're talking about the standard one there, because this WildTrak one is lovely inside. I like the seats. I like the way that they look. I like the interior. I like the fact that it's got carbon fibre effect around the dashboard and such. And talking about the dashboard, and I noticed on the reviews it said it was dull. That's anything but dull. The fact that you can change everything that's within it. So you've got your fuel gauge, but you can change with regards to, it's got a compass in it. It tells you what road that you're currently on. It's nice and clear. It's bright without being dazzling. And the rev counter is also nice and clear. I don't see a negative with that. What these people in the press think about them though, that's up to them. They're driving these sorts of trucks all the time. I love being in here. What you can also see is on the steering wheel that I've not levelled up for me, I've levelled up for you guys that are watching today. It's got every bell and whistle on here that you're going to want. So you can control the stereo off here, control your phone off of this side, you control your speed limit, and also you can do your cruise control off there. Now, you may have noticed looking down, this is one of the rarer manuals. Now, majority of the 3.2s, I'm told, are automatics, but it works really well. And I was so surprised when I drove this how light that clutch feels. I expected it to drive like a truck. It doesn't. It feels very much like a car. And also you can see over this side a nice clear display for your stereo, which is all touchscreen again, and the 212 volts. So yeah, it's practical. And you know what? A lot of vehicles, they forget to do the simple things. This does it. You can have a cup of tea in there. You've got an armrest in the middle that serves a function. They're nice. How many vehicles, BMW, I'm pointing at you, don't do that? But this does, and this is a work truck. Perfect. It's even got door pockets that have got use on them as well. So I don't know how well you can see, but over here, you can easily get a 2-litre bottle of water into that. And again, like I say, all your controls for all your windows are here, your door locks are up here, and your controls for your wing mirrors and such like are up there. Nice, simple, easy to understand, but really good looking, I think. Anyway, let's have a look in the back. Okay, so in the back then, if you're going to have one of these as your only car, like Jonathan has got, he's got 2 girls, he's got a big dog, and he's still able to use this vehicle for day to day. And the reason being is because Ford designed it to be just that. It can be a family vehicle as well. So if you look at the space here between this seat, could you as an adult sit in that? Well, I've had my seat there 5'8". Let me show you. Look at that. So 5'8", plenty of space there. Even when Big John, who's 6'1", 6'2", in here, his seat's back. I know from experience, having been in here pre-COVID, I've still got plenty of space. Down there again, 12-volt charger, keeps the kids' iPads charged up. They're still whinging, but at least they've got power in their iPad, so it's not all bad. But yeah, it's nice in the back. I like it. This is a truck that's got all the bells and whistles, hasn't it? It looks good, drives well. Yeah, it's expensive, but it's a truck. But you know what? This is a nice place to be. It feels roomy, feels airy, feels like you're in something special, and it's a joy to drive. It's easy to drive. What I was surprised when I was driving around in it over the weekend is that even though it's really big, it doesn't feel wide. It doesn't feel like you're in a huge truck. And having drove many vans, I've drove Freelanders, I've drove Land Cruisers. Now Land Cruisers feel massive. I expected there to be this size problem. It isn't in this truck at all. It feels like I'm driving a tall car. And you've seen my Vector reviews. If you've not seen my Vector review, go and check it out. But it feels no bigger than that. Just feels tall. So you've got a real good view over the top of everything, which means driving around actually is really easy. I expected it to have loads of body roll. It hasn't got loads of body roll, even though it's got these massive mud tyres on it, which do make it feel a little bit soggier than it would be with a standard set on it. It feels solid. It feels such a good car. Now, what I would say is that if you're thinking of buying one of these just as a car, I would struggle to recommend it. And on art, I'm going to struggle to recommend it, mainly because you get so much more from a car. Yeah, you could buy that big box on the back, but it's not as good as having a boot. You are very restricted, but as a functional work vehicle that can act as a car, perfect. Do I prefer it over some of the others? I certainly prefer it over the Navara. I've not been in an L200 for long enough, or certainly recently, to be able to compare it to, but taking it in what it is today, I really like it. Easy to recommend. So if you're in the business of wanting a work truck that looks the absolute swingers, go and check out one of these Ford WildTraks, because I'm smitten. Just can't afford one. Right. I'm going to get even closer. Hello. Wait for this. Hello. Oh my God. Thanks for all your kind comments, for those that keep tuning back in and sticking with me with really bad editing. One day I'll get better. If you've not subscribed, please do so. If you've stuck it to the end, then probably only 2 or 3 of you watching. But thank you very much, and take care.